My name's Janice Hutton. I live here in St. Catharines, Ontario, in the Niagara region. I've been living here for 23 years now. Um, Raised a family here, two adult men. One just turned 22 yesterday. The other one is 24. And we moved here from Toronto I moved here with my husband. He works for the Ministry of Transportation, and he just recently retired, actually, after 34 years of service with the provincial government. And so living with a civil servant, it was kind of an interesting little pathway. It allowed us to move a lot. We met in London, moved to Ottawa, moved to Toronto, and then moved to St. Catharines, and then basically passed over some more promotions so that we could raise our family in one place as opposed to being vagabonds and moving around, which was fine when we were young and single and then married, but not so much after that. So it's been an interesting journey for me, because every time we moved, I would lose my job. And when we met, I was a university swim coach, and I was a professor at University of Western Ontario, now called Western University, and basically had spent my 20s creating and expanding my own career. And then, of course, we make choices, and choices lead us different places. And it's been a great journey because of that. So I went back to school. I did a B.Ed. When I was in Toronto, I worked in the fitness industry. I worked in the fitness certification industry. I worked in the sport industry. I coached for 10 years. So one of the skills I think that I learned over time was how to reinvent myself over and over as work kind of came and went with an entrepreneurial mindset. My focus has been more, it started being very, the physical body, train the physical body, but then recognizing that we don't train bodies, we train people, right? And so training people means that they come with mind, body, spirit. And you can't get someone to lose weight until you actually get them to recognize what are your eating behaviors and what are they driven by? What are your beliefs? So I really started to morph probably in the last 4 to 5 years into the coaching world and the world of behavior change. Just understanding that we can't help people help themselves until they understand their beliefs and behaviors, and try to figure out what are my old beliefs, like clean your plate, because you were told as a child, finish what's on your plate. That's an old belief that still sticks with you that no longer works for you. So getting rid of those we absorb most of our beliefs and our values before the age of 7. They don't work for us anymore. And when you recognize that, you go, what? Like your operating system, which is your brain that runs your habits, was mostly formed when you were 5, 6, and 7, because you were a sponge and you were absorbing everything that you observed and everything that you were taught, and how to fit in and what's important and what to value. All of those things are there, and that's not right. It's not current anymore. It's like, so those kinds of ideas of helping people understand what's driving your behavior and your choices. Maybe your grade 9 experience in phys ed is still stuck with you, and you go, I hate exercise because I had a bad experience in school, as most kids did. So that belief of exercise is hard and I don't like it then is a roadblock for people. So the interesting analogy is our smartphones, right? We live with these things. They have an internal system. They update themselves automatically. So they look and go, oh, my operating system is now old, and it updates itself. But we don't update our operating system. We live on habit, because that's how we run our lives, how we wake up, what we like to do. We have our own little way of doing things. And we don't normally stop and go, ooh, what are my habits, and which ones are still valid and which ones aren't? And when I want to try something new, I have to break the system that I'm currently in. And so recognizing the power of just the whole power of habit and how it drives our success or our roadblocks is a great place to start and go, you know what, I need to reflect, stop and think, what's working for me? What's holding me back? And so uncovering those old, oh, I've tried every diet in the book, right? I've tried to exercise, I hurt myself, I didn't like it. You know, all of those things have to be uncovered and explored to try to create a new pathway to say, okay, I'm going to try again, and here's a better approach. I read a great book, and his comment was, what's your refresh rate? Because, right, our computers refresh themselves. Well, what's your refresh rate? How often do you stop and think, what am I doing? How am I doing it? And which ones are good and which ones could be upgraded? What's your refresh rate? Our system is a pill for an ill. You're sick, oh, here's your prescription. You get 5 minutes with your doctor, and modern medicine's going to fix you. And instead of empowerment, which is, we need prevention. We need to help you take care of yourself so that you don't end up with the pill for the ill. And so the medical profession is slowly starting to recognize, and there's this new collaboration with the fitness industry of exercise as medicine. And so because of that, doctors are prescribing exercise, not a HIIT class, but activity like go walk around the block and make some healthy choices. Those kinds of small steps coming from a doctor seems to be strong enough messaging that people go, oh, I should maybe think about doing this, and looking for some support to do it. And so the new profession that's evolving is a health coach. And so I've kind of found myself going, that's really what I'm doing. I'm teaching people, I'm coaching people to be healthy. So fitness is long ways away. The goal is health. Today is a good day to make a different choice. Right. You know, some of my best friends are all from all over the country because of the people that I was able to affiliate with. But I still think that women in general, I think we isolate ourselves too much. We do the I got this and I got to run the household, and so we get stuck inside of our houses and then have trouble getting back out again. My house is empty. I have a dog. That's it. And that transition for me was huge, of just, wait a second, there's no one that depends on me anymore. I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I want to do. I have to go and find stuff for myself, and I have to go and I, you know, in some cases you kind of feel like a teenager. It's like, I have to go out and make friends again. How do I do that? You're laughing, but it's true, right? Because my whole community was built around my kids and my kids' experiences, and now they're gone and they're doing their own adult lives. And I go, oh, okay, what would my experiences look like now? So that whole phase of self-discovery is an interesting journey. I read the most interesting article the other day about how we spend, before the age of 18, we spend 95% of our parent time is taken up in the first 18 years of our lives, and the rest of our lives we see our parents only 5% of the time. And when you look at that and go, oh, no wonder I freak out, or like I want to see my kids. The parts of the transitions, the things that we go through our lifetime, not just career-wise, but also personally. Man, we could use more support for each other about how to navigate those changes, whether it's getting married, having kids, the career versus the lifestyle, the home versus why are so many women stressed, and why are so many women so overwhelmed and feeling they got to be perfect? All of those things. It's like, what? We carry the burden of the family, but we don't talk about it. We just do it. Wisdom. So here's a good equation for you. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. And you go, oh, that's what needs to be shared is here's what I knew. Wish I, know better, do better. Okay, maybe. But usually there's no handbook on how to live a life. So we experience things. We think we know, and then we experience, and then we learn, and we get our life lessons. And that's the stuff that is so powerful, is to just to share, what did I learn from that? And to actually be able to go, oh, it wasn't a mistake, it was a lesson. So I like those.
I like